The championship season is drawing to a close, but who is going to get promoted? Who is going to get relegated? Across the course of this video, I give my final predictions for the championship season as we edge ever closer to the end of the season. With just 8 games remaining, the league table currently looks like this, with Leeds United and Sheffield United holding those automatic promotion places, with Burnley, Sunderland, Coventry and West Brom holding those playoff positions. We then look towards the bottom of the table where Derby County, Luton and Plymouth currently occupy the relegation places, but how is it going to end? It's going to be very interesting to see how the league shakes out over the course of the next few weeks. But who have you got winning the league? Who are your playoff winners and who is going to get relegated? Let me know down in the comments. While you're down there, you might as well hit that subscribe button and turn on that notification bell. Now, before we get into my latest set of championship predictions, take a look at my predictions from before the season even started, before Blackburn had a load of transfers and before things changed in the league. I've got the likes of Blackburn, Oxford and Plymouth getting relegated, with Coventry, Norwich, West Brom and Burnley making the playoffs, with Leeds United taking the title and Luton Town in second place. It's obviously nowhere near the league that we're currently seeing, but let me know your thoughts on that down in the comments, and let's get in now to the latest predictions I've made. Now for me, starting off, we're going to start off with those relegation places and we're going to work our way from 24th all the way up to first place. And in my opinion, 24th place is going to be Plymouth Argyle, currently sitting, 6 points away from safety with a very difficult run of fixtures coming up. I just don't quite think they've got enough in the tank to be able to turn it around and be able to find themselves back into survival in the championship. So they're one of the teams who I believe are going to get relegated. The other two teams which follow in their footsteps and are going to be heading down to League One is going to be Luton Town and Cardiff City. Now for me, Luton Town this season have just never really found their rhythm. Now, if you go back to my predictions video at the start of this season, I had very, very high hopes for Luton Town. I really thought that they would be up there challenging for automatic promotion, but this season has been anything other than a promotion campaign. They've been diabolical to watch. They've not really put in that many great performances. They've lost a lot of games. They've conceded a lot of goals, and I just can't see much changing. Yes, they're on the run of 2 wins and 1 draw in 5 games, but obviously we know how football is, and that can change in an instant. And they face up against a fellow relegation rival on Saturday versus Hull City, and it's going to be interesting to see how that one shakes out, because I think that has a massive part to play in whether they survive. Now for me, Cardiff City have won 2 of their last 5 games, and I do believe that they're going to go down. I think they face up against some very good teams in their final run-in, and I just can't see a way that they can sort of outperform the likes of Derby County, the likes of Stoke City, Oxford United, Hull, Pompey. I just can't see a way that they do that over the course of the next few weeks, and that obviously would mean that they would fall into those relegation places. We're now looking at those teams who just survived towards the bottom end, and in 21st place, I'm going with Stoke City. I think that Stoke City side has enough to stay in the division. I just don't, I'm sort of teetering on the edge of whether Cardiff or Stoke will go down. I think Derby will survive. Obviously, I'm a little bit biased as being a Derby County fan, but I do think that they've got a decent run-in against those teams around them where they can survive themselves, and I just don't think that Stoke City are going to be able to pick up the points necessary to sort of get themselves secure. And I think that final game of Derby versus Stoke is going to be a massive, massive one for both teams, especially Stoke City. Now, in 20th place, I've gone for Oxford United. They've been on a little bit of a slump, picked up 1 win, 3 losses and 1 draw in their most recent games, and they face up against Middlesbrough, who are challenging for the playoffs in their next one. It's going to be an interesting one to see how that shakes out, but for me, I've got Oxford finishing in 20th place. And then in 19th, I'm going with Swansea City. They've lost back-to-back games. They face up against Leeds United next, which is never going to be an easy task. And I do think that they're going to go into a little bit of freefall. Currently sitting on 44 points. They might see themselves as safe, really, and they only need to pick up a couple more results, and I just think that's what's going to cost them. I think they're going to finish just ahead of Oxford United. I do think they're going to be safe, but I do think that they're in a world of trouble. They probably need 5 points, in my opinion, to stay in the division, but we'll see how that shakes out over the course of the next few weeks. In 18th place, I've gone for Derby County. Now, I posted a video yesterday talking about where I believe Derby County are going to finish this season and how I think they're going to run out over their next few games. And I've predicted that they're going to pick up 14 more points, which will put them on 52. Now, I think Swansea are going to get to like 49, 50. I think 52 for Derby is a good target from where we were at a few weeks ago. And I do think they're going to finish just behind Portsmouth, but I think it's going to be a very, very interesting battle. We then go, obviously, into 17th place, which is where Pompey currently are, and that's where I think they're going to finish. I think they're going to finish well in that position. I think they're just going to continue to just sort of peter on through the final parts of the season. Obviously, 2 wins and 3 defeats in their last 5 games. They face up against Blackburn Rovers next, who haven't been on great form themselves, and I do think that Pompey will have enough to stay up. QPR are in a little bit of free fall at the moment with 4 losses and a draw in their last 5 games. Currently sitting on 45 points. I think they're going to end the season in 16th place. I think they're a decent team. I think they've got enough in the bag to be able to secure 5 or 6 more points to secure themselves into the Championship. And realistically, I think they're probably going to end on sort of like 54, 55 points. We've then got Hull City, who, in my opinion, have turned a corner in recent weeks. 2 wins, 2 draws in their previous 5. They face up against Luton Town next. I think they're going to end on about 57 points in 15th place, just behind Preston, but just ahead of QPR. It'll be a massive turnaround for them if they do end up finishing that clear of safety, but anything is possible in the Championship. We then go on to 14th place, which I believe is going to be Preston North End. I think it's going to be very, very tight between 14th and 11th, really. And I do think Preston are probably the worst of that bunch. I think it's then going to be Millwall in 13th, Sheffield Wednesday in 12th, Norwich City in 11th. Now, I think all 3 of those teams have quality and I think Norwich could potentially make a late run for the playoffs, but their last 5 games isn't filling me with confidence. 2 draws, 2 defeats and 1 win, and they face up against fellow promotion chasers West Bromwich Albion over the course of the next couple of weeks. And I just can't see a way that they can sort of really get themselves back into it. But we'll have to wait and see. Then in 10th place, I've got Blackburn Rovers. Since losing John Eustace, they haven't really been a good side, have they? It's 4 defeats in their last 5 games with 1 draw in there as well. I can only see them slumping down the table. In 9th place, I've then gone with Watford. I do think they're going to pick up more points than Blackburn over the course of the next few weeks. And obviously, they're currently equal right now. In 8th place, I've gone with Middlesbrough. I think they're just going to fall short of the playoffs this season. And I don't quite think Middlesbrough have been as good as I anticipated they would be. If we look at their last 5 games, though, it's 3 wins, 1 loss and 1 draw. They face up against Oxford next, which is going to be a difficult test for them, with Oxford still looking to secure their survival. But I do think they're going to end up just outside the playoffs. I've then gone with a little bit of a shake-up in 7th place, and I've gone with West Bromwich Albion. Don't get me wrong, they're currently in really good form. 2 wins, 3 draws as they head towards a game with Norwich City. But I just think the team that I've put in 6th place is just going to have enough to secure 6th place. And that's why I've got West Brom in 7th. In 6th place, Bristol City. I think Bristol City have a lot of quality in their squad. The likes of Jason Knight, Max Bird, unbelievable talents. You look at Scotty Twine, some really, really good players at Bristol City. They face up against Burnley next, which I think is a massive, massive fixture in the hunt for the playoff positions. And I do believe that Bristol City are going to come out on top in the battle against the likes of Middlesbrough and West Brom. And I do think they're going to secure the 6th place position. We've then got Coventry, who I think are going to finish in 5th. They've been unbelievable since Frank Lampard took over. I think it's something like 10 wins in 12 games in the Championship, something like that, in their most recent fixtures. And then obviously, they've just been really good. Obviously, a defeat to Derby County was a disappointing one for them, but it's one which they can quickly move past, which they did with a victory in their following game. In 4th place, I've gone with Sunderland. I think they're pretty much secure in their position right now, and if I was Sunderland boss, I'd be giving a couple of their key players rests over the course of the next few weeks as they look to sort of build into a positive playoff campaign. In 3rd place, I have gone with Sheffield United to round out the playoffs. Don't get me wrong, I think Sheffield United are unbelievable. And if it wasn't for their points deduction, they would currently be leading the pile. But I just believe that Burnley are going to sneak into that 2nd place because of how good they are at not conceding goals, and they don't necessarily score it. They score similar amounts to Sheffield United, in fairness, but I just think Burnley have got that edge and that knack of how to get a result, which I think is going to suffer for Sheffield United over the course of the last few weeks. And then taking the title, if you haven't already noticed, is going to be none other than Leeds United. Now, I believe that the playoff final is going to be Sunderland versus Bristol City. And I think Sunderland are going to get themselves back into the Premier League. And I think it's going to be a really, really interesting test for Sunderland, Bristol City, Coventry to be in that playoff battle and get themselves a potential option to get back into the Premier League. But for me, I've got Sunderland, Leeds and Burnley returning to the Premier League next season, with Cardiff City, Luton and Plymouth going down to League One. Let me know your predictions in the comments if you have not done so already. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell to stay tuned for all of my latest Derby County and EFL content coming over the course of the next few weeks. And if you have not done so already, I'll catch you in my next video.